So
To check your
South Central
mailbox,
Patrol
press
is no
1.
longer
To
taking phone
dial an
calls.
extension,
This is the
press
police
2.
department.
For a directory of extensions,
This is what
press
they get
3.
to do when
To
they
repeat
commit
these
crimes
options,
and when
press
they don't
9.
want to talk, they
Sorry,
put
the
me on
operator
this.
is not available.
Headquarters did
Record
it.
your
Let's see what
message at
crime
the
they come
tone.
up with when
When
I
you are
call.
finished, hang up or press pound for more.
That was South Central. This is police headquarters. This is clear cut tampering with evidence, a felony. This is a crime. I keep repetitively saying this. You're witnessing it. Let's see what they have to say, if they even answer the phone. This is planned. So I believe it's planned. They're not answering. Because you don't repetitively call and have some critical things going on a police department and then they duck and dodge you and don't even answer the phone if it's not on purpose. And then when you go up there to try to get situations resolved, they threaten to take you to jail. You just saw it. It hung up. It didn't answer. That's why I had to reach all the way out to Austin. And then it was still games. So let's call Central Patrol. This is Central Patrol. We've called.
Central Patrol.
Hello, may I have your name?
Yeah, it's Durant.
Durant. Okay. Do you have a badge number?
Sorry?
Do you have a badge number?
Yeah, 12246.
Durant, I've had a lot of really unusual things going on with my phone. I tried to report it to you guys. You wouldn't take a report. You wouldn't take a report of that, and it was something else you wouldn't take a report. You wouldn't take a report on a multitude of things. Oh, yeah, I tried to get off the streets, and I told you that all these shelters were depriving me of housing. And I asked if you could assist, and you guys took me to the bridge where they did not shelter too. And then you said that it's not against the law to be homeless. But if you set at a police department hours to get housing and then never got it, in addition to that, I was only outside, I didn't have my property. I just got released from a false arrest. And then I got released and then my property was repetitively stolen. Well, lost repetitively.
Okay.
So it's a coincidence that each time I got released in jail on false charges, my property would come up missing and I have to go on wild goose chases looking for it. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm getting bombarded with all these calls. Okay? I feel uncomfortable with scammers having the capability to listen to me and then listen to what's going on. See, what happens is I got a lot of calls from minions, my abuser's minion that you keep covering for. Okay, they stopped calling. I blocked them. I blocked the text, and I'm not answering their calls. Okay, so then he enlisted scammers that would not entertain them, but when I did entertain them, they did not know my name. So now the scammers have changed it because I knew they were scamming. They were claiming to be these businesses, and I knew that they were doing this in a harassment scheme. I did customer service, and it was odd. It was like they were doing it on purpose, and they would disturb me at inopportune times like it was planned.
Yeah.
Okay, so then after I stated that they don't even know my name, and it was proof of that, now the scammers have concocted that someone has went online and put my information in, and I'm bombarded with all these texts and calls. Is that criminal for someone to harass someone? And then, can you do an investigation? Because I kept getting arrested and violated when I tried to report this man. Can an investigation be done to see why someone would have went in and in harassment scheme stated that I have reached out to all these different locations that I didn't? Because I get a multitude of harassing calls daily.
Yeah. So if you want to have an investigation done about a harassment, what you need to first do is create a police report, and then an officer would, collect as much information as they could, and then it would be sent to a detective. There's actually an easier way to do it, though, besides meeting with a police officer, and you can report this online at dallaspolice.net.
I've tried to report things online, and I don't get a response, and for some reason, I slipped through the cracks, must be like 80 times now, and haven't had an investigator. I don't understand why if we have proof, it doesn't meet the elements of a crime. Tampering with evidence is a felony. You think maybe that's what these officers are doing?
It doesn't meet the elements of the crime.
I'm sorry?
An officer told you met with an officer and they told you that it did not meet the elements of the crime.
Right. And I can give you my YouTube channel. I don't understand why hacking a phone network they would then deprive me of investigation for that. It does meet the elements of a crime because, it is harassment. And, for someone to sit on my phone and listen to me That doesn't make me feel safe. And if their scammers are going through this degree to violate me, how did someone get access to scammers to this degree? I don't understand how a party would have power to abuse to get a hold of so many scammers. So if they're scamming and trying to con me, are they doing this to others?
Yeah.
And even more so, why would the police cover for it? I'm concerned about that.
No, I understand your concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you already met with an officer and they told you something specific, I don't know if I can give you really new information. I will say if the situation has changed and the circumstances are a little bit different from the last time.
I'm concerned because when I was trying to report the abuser, they detained me and arrested me and lied and slandered. So I just don't understand why they would take such a big stock in protecting me, not protecting me from this man and threatening to take me to jail for reporting identity theft he admitted to doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That it's like they're covering for him, and why would they cover for him? And all these massive crimes that are obvious are being committed. Why would they lie and say it don't meet the elements of a crime? And why would you when I was forced to live at Austin Street and I had all that chaos going on, you guys wouldn't even take a report? Can you tell me what happened with this child abuse report number? I can give it to you.
With the what report?
I believe it's 087715. Smith did it for a child abuse report.
You're talking about a report number, that's what you gave me?
Yes.
And you said it was 087715?
I believe that's it. I can check if that's not it. Smith took it. Can I give you my name?
Yeah, hang on. I don't know how much information I'm going to be able to get.
You don't know how much information you'll be able to get? Well, it's child abuse. Why wouldn't you have information that's vital?
Yeah, if you want a copy of the report.
No, I don't think that we have a proper understanding. What's your position?
I'm an officer.
You don't want me to know the update of a child abuse report?
No, I do, but there's a proper way that you have to get it, and I can't.
You're not being honest. You're not being honest. You don't have to go. They won't give me my records. This has been going on years. There's a multitude of people committing crimes. You're not being honest. If someone is calling with an update of a child abuse report, you have a responsibility. The reason why you don't want me to know with the update, because it was ignored. And I just wanted you to say that out your mouth. That was several years ago. I flagged the officer down because each time I called them on my phone, they would tamper with evidence and cover for crimes and deny a report. So I flagged down a police officer. She had integrity and took a report, and then a crime was committed and it was never investigated.
Okay.
So I thought that was clear-cut felony. If someone reports child abuse, there's no option to ignore it if this abuser, which is what I reported to Gooden, he has bribed a multitude of people so I could not see my kids, that's criminal. And all the conspirators involved in the scheme to violate my rights as a parent, hindering a child custody agreement is a felony. It doesn't matter that hundreds of people involved, judges, CPS workers, they made that conscious decision to do so, which is a felony. So this kind lady went ahead and took this report, and then all of a sudden it got ignored, along with almost 80 other reports. So I'm referred now, officers are lying and telling me that I have to get a records request, which they know that department is so corrupt, they deprive me of my records out of corruption. So I will continue to go through this chaos and get nothing resolved. But for other people that have rights, they don't have to go through records to get information and an update.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just about to tell you. I was going to say that to get a copy of your report.
That's not what I was requesting. I just wanted an update to see what was done because I don't understand how it's not against the law to deprive people of investigation for like 80-something reports, ranging from being ran off the roads, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, child hit with a car. It's a lot of extreme events, trapped on trains, and a lot of this was on camera footage, but some kind of way you slipped, missed the marks almost 80-something times. Tampering with evidence is a felony. Yeah. It's not just a mediocre thing. I just forgot this is a criminal offense. So I think that it's clear cut with almost 80-something reports, multiple felonies are being committed. I just don't understand how long it will continue to sit on someone's phone, listen to their calls, and then sabotage any access to any support is sick. And to force me to pay a phone bill on services I can't properly get because the government's behind it, and then force me to take all this harassment and abuse and cover for it and allow it to continue. So, but I don't understand why you're committing a crime, because if I'm asking you for an update, I don't understand why you would deprive me of that and then force me to go to the records and police headquarters where they're denying me of records. Why can't you just look on the system like other citizens can have done and then check and see what happened? Why won't you just abide by the law?
Access to that record.
You don't have access.
Correct.
Why would you not have access?
I just don't. I mean, but like you already mentioned, when someone else told you before, you are more than welcome to access that through the Open Records Division.
Okay, sir. Let's talk to the scammer. Hello? Another scammer.
Do you want the phone number for it?
Oh, I was trying to talk to the scammer. The records division? No, they're depriving me of records. I'm not being heard. I'm not being heard, sir.
Did you already?
They're so corrupt that
they're
they're...
calling them previously?
I went up there. They have been depriving me of records for years out of corruption. I have never seen anything like what I've experienced. They threatened to take me to jail for reporting identity theft. So I think that this is unreal, this chaos.
Did they tell you that you need like different information, or did they give you any advice about how you could request it?
My computer's locked up for work. I mean, everything else is done. Why not?
Because if you want, what I can do for you is actually give you a phone number, so you don't have to actually go there in person. You can just call and then...
I'm not being heard. I'm not being heard. I'm not being heard. The corruption is so huge. Multiple parties are committing crimes depriving me of my records out of corruption and consistently keep getting away with it. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of the corruption where you just deprive the party that you're violating the right to go to court. But hey, this is 2022. Obviously, the government is allowed to commit a lot of crimes people have never heard of. Okay, sir, now that I can get into the system, my system was frozen up. I'll go ahead and try to log in for work. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Bye.